So, welcome to the call tonight, y'all. Can you believe another month has gone by? So, today is June the 3rd, and we're looking forward to hearing these great testimonies on this amazing product that Dr. Prasad has formulated for us. I just want to say how fortunate we are that we do have a product that protects us from radiation, protects us from 5G. It also can really help, which you're going to hear tonight, how it's helped so many people. It supports the body. Remember, our product does not fix the body, it supports the body, and the body knows what to do. So Jeff is going to read the disclaimer, and thank you, Jeff, for always pitching in and helping. And then Chris, you're going to start after he reads the disclaimer.
Well, thank you, Beth. It's so fun to get together on these evenings like this. It does seem hard to believe that it was a month ago that we last did this. Amazing. I mean, you could probably tell by the count on the YouTube video how many times that other one was shared, because it was just so spot on. And so as we get underway tonight, I'm going to go ahead and get our disclaimer taken care of. Helen and I are traveling today. You see the rain out the window behind us. We are in Long Beach, California, and it's rained all the way on the freeway to get here. It's just been so nice. Just really enjoy seeing parts of the country and really inserting ourselves into the communities. So if you will follow along with me, let me pull up our disclaimer, and let's see, I'm going to use, here we go. These statements and comments have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This information is solely for educational purposes only and includes recent advances in research on micronutrients. Engage, the micronutrient company, does not claim that our products diagnose, treat, cure, heal, or prevent any disease or injury. However, Engage's products are formulated to address nutritional deficiencies and supply the body with the required nutrients. It's important to note that nothing here is meant to be a substitute for professional medical treatment or a consultation with your primary healthcare provider. So that having been taken care of, welcome back. I've got the words out of the way, and Beth, I'm going to turn it over to you, who's put all of this together.
Okay. So, Chris, if you can unmute yourself.
Okay, this is Chris Fisher from Gordonville, Pennsylvania. Yeah, just to share my testimony with these products, Engage Global products. Well, I had struggled with hip pain for 10 months to a year. I mean, it was pretty severe. At times I thought, well, I'm going to need a hip replacement. So I was taking supplements and collagen all last summer. Nothing seemed to really help. And I've heard about the microdaily maybe June, July, but I thought it's just another product. But then finally, beginning of September, I started with the microdaily, the collagen, actually the Core 4 digestive boost. And within 2 weeks, I noticed a difference. Within 5 to 6 weeks, my pain was totally gone, and I have no pain since. So I just want to say a thank you to Dr. Prasad for validating such a good product. And we have the #1 expert in science of nutrition in the whole world right now, and I just think it's a great company to work with. And then also, I struggle with acid reflux off and on, which that's when your chest, it burns in your chest, depends what you eat. And the digestive boost, I mean, I have no problems with that at all either. I took the digestive boost, and I thought that really helps. So yeah, I just, well, another thing, Roseanne, our 14-year-old daughter, she got huge results with this. She struggled with skin rashes, itchiness ever since she was a little girl. She's now 14. Yeah, she actually got very huge results with it. The first time ever, she was taking supplements and did blood works all these years and just couldn't come up with the right solution. So that's where another reason where Dr. Prasad comes in with, I guess, the right combination and quality and form of a product that works. So yeah, I'm very grateful that we found these products. And I'm just going to tell anybody that's on here, if you're taking the products and you don't get results that you're looking for, don't give up right away. Call the person that got you started and maybe change the protocol a little bit or add a couple more packets of micro daily. I think eventually you will get results. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have. I'm not going to take a lot of time up, but another thing is I get a lot of comments from people on this probiotic with bowel movements that struggle with constipation and just, not regular bowel movements. So that's pretty much what I have.
All right, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Chris started back in August, and sorry about that. Chris started back in August, and he has been very diligent in helping many people. He is a great contact in Pennsylvania for me that I work with, along with several others. So thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
So Lynn, you're next. You have to hit your speaker.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Lynn Lockyer from Charlotte, North Carolina. I've struggled with connective tissue in my major joints in my hands all my life. And it's progressively getting worse. I've had grinding sounds in my right hip. I remember my son saying, "Mom, why is the floor creaking like that?" I said, "It's not the floor, it's my hip." I haven't been able to stand with my weight evenly distributed on both of my legs for quite a while. Not sleeping at night, up every hour and a half to every hour. My kids would say, "Mom, you have to live to 100." And I said, "I don't know how I'm going to get through the next 5 years." My husband would say to me, "Are you hurting today?" And I hurt every day. It's just a matter of how much I hurt. So I would have everything, what I called everything days, where my knees, my hips, my shoulders, and my hands all would hurt. If something didn't hurt, it was a good day. So I started Micro Daily last year, and I took it for about 3 months, and I didn't get that 1 or 2 week improvement like the gentleman who just spoke before me. So after 3 months, I said to my husband, "I don't think this is helping me. I'm going to go off of it. I'm going to stop taking it." Well, I stopped for about 3 months, and I realized how much it actually had been helping me. I also struggled with anxiety. I call fear doom and gloom. I wake up in the morning. So I realized that when I was actually on the Micro Daily, I didn't have that anxiety. So I told my husband I need to get back on this because it was doing something. It just wasn't that big change that other people have. So I started back in December. So as of now, I can't remember the last time I had an everything day. I'm sleeping and only waking up 1 or 2 times at night, and I have very minimal pain at night. I don't hurt 24/7 anymore. In fact, it's just here and there. I still walk with a limp and I still struggle. I still have pain, but the anxiety's gone. So when I do hurt, it's easier to deal with it. And so I know that it's helping me greatly. I want to continue. I've been taking the collagen. My hair was falling out, and my daughter would say, "Mom, it's a wonder you're not bald." But it's like half of what it was then. It's not falling out as much. And my fingernails, I have to show you, are like so long. I've never had fingernails like that in my entire life. They've always been down to my fingers. they're breaking, they're tearing, they're chipping. These I actually have to file every week because I tore 2 of them off catching them on something. So the collagen is doing great things. But I want to share 2 other stories with you. My son is dating a girl who has a 3-year-old son. And because of physical issues and emotional issues and things that have happened in his life, when we met him back in November, he was totally nonverbal. He was constantly throwing tantrums. His attitude and his mood was always a struggle to deal with. So I bought him a bottle of gummies, and he's been on now since January, maybe. So when he would come to my house, he would just scream and yell and point. And so I started teaching him a little bit of sign language. He would sign dog when he would see my dogs, just a tap on his thigh, on the side of his thigh. So then I taught him colors. So he'd come in the house and tell me, this is my brown dog, this is my black dog, this is my white dog. I'm still using sign, but becoming more verbal. Now he comes in the house and he points to my dogs and he says, Bella, Rosie, Minnie. He has become so verbal. His behavior has improved by leaps and bounds. He still has tantrums, but they're not as strong as they were before. They don't last as long and they're not as frequent. And he has just chosen to use his voice every time he wants to communicate with me. It's like 2 different children. I can't believe it. So his mom and my son are talking about getting him on the gummies permanently. So it's just been, these products are just amazing. I would say that if you think it's not helping you, stay with it. Stay with it because it does things that I didn't even know it was doing. I periodically have moments where I feel bad for maybe 2 days. And then when I come out of that, I feel better than I did before. So I keep seeing improvements and I can't wait for the next 6 months. This is awesome. Thank you.
So Lynn, were you in, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that since you had some anxiety and things like that, it won't be a bad idea to have one in the morning capsule of CBD, because CBD not only helps you to improve your mood, and in terms of anxiety, depression get dramatically reduced. And so I think that addition might be good, and let us know whether, and it also improves or reduce the pain. And so I think in your case, that may not be a bad idea. Even the kids who have this kind of problem of autism or ADHD, you can define, I don't know. And so, it is very safe. FDA has approved children who has a seizure problem. They have recommended up to 750 milligram.
Okay.
And our capsule is only 25 milligram. And so it is fairly non-toxic. So if you decide to have it, maybe you can consult those 2 brothers, Courier, what's his name is the?
Dr. Corbier.
Yeah, Corbier. He's using this. I have given them a protocol. I forgot exactly, and in children's, and like you saw some improvement with one product, but this is other product as well. So maybe you should consult him and see how he's doing it, and his response is 100%. He said mother calls him, and he's himself a neurologist, so he knows what he's doing.
Okay. I've been taking the CBD morning and night for about 3 weeks now.
Okay, good. So that will help. That will also help. So you are doing all right. Keep on doing it.
So Lynn, I don't believe you mentioned that at one time, were you in a wheelchair or a walker?
I was in a wheelchair about maybe four years ago.
Mhm.
My legs were okay. My joints just didn't want to work. So I couldn't, I couldn't get them to move. And I just started trying to eat better, focus more. I was taking collagen and I'm sorry, something else that I was buying offline. So I think it was kind of helping a little bit. But one of the things I did was I pushed myself because I didn't want to be in the wheelchair forever. But even from coming out of the wheelchair before I started the micro daily, to now, the improvement, I can stand for a while on both my legs with my weight evenly distributed. I have not been able to do that in probably maybe 5-6 years.
That's improvement that you have not been taking for long. I mean, you have been taking for a few months, so that's good news.
So what about going up and down stairs? How was that for you before?
I had to crawl.
Mm-hmm.
I crawled, and I could only go 1 foot at a time. So now I have 2 railings that help me because I need to rebuild those joints in my hips and my knees. And I have 2 railings. And when I get a hold of them, I can go up the steps, one leg after the other, alternating, not one at a time. And
Yeah.
I can come down the steps the same way. I haven't been able to do that in years either.
Good.
The amazing how when you give the body a lot of antioxidants, because there's a lot of antioxidants in this product. And I know I have Dr. Prasad check a lot of products for me. And what I have noticed is most people do not put antioxidants in their products
Yeah.
that you check.
By the way, I almost forgot to tell you this. I have 3 dogs. They're range from 5 to 10 pounds, all 3 of them. One is 14 years old. One is a puppy that's about 9 months old, and the other one is in between. And we give them we open a capsule. My daughter sprinkles a little bit on their food every day because the old one, she has no teeth and she's struggling. The young one is a puppy, and if she jumps, she hurts herself. But the middle one, I think she has some kind of anxiety, and she gets in moments that she won't come down the steps. She's afraid of them, and she'll sit and cry until my daughter goes and gets her. But when we keep them on the micro daily, we don't have any of those issues, and that dog is fine. So it's helping the dogs too.
Yeah, of course, dog physiology is very similar to human. And even the incidence of cancer that in Fort Collins people were studying is, and they said that the response is just like human response. So dog physiology is one of the things that very similar to human. So I'm not surprised, but nobody has even thought of trying on a dog.
The dogs, they
But see,
seem to like
the
it.
mechanism is same. I mean, dog gets also anxiety, depressions. They have increased oxidative stress, inflammation, just like human. And so if you down-regulate them, decrease them, then you will feel better. I mean,
Yeah.
that's I don't know why people don't get this one, that as you grow older, this level increases if you don't interrupt it. And then you get all kind of diseases, arthritis, Alzheimer's, and so on and so forth. But if you start right from the beginning, when you are, say, 20, and start taking just micronutrient alone, you don't have to take core 4 until you become 40. That will be enormous value in terms of reducing oxidative stress, because even 20 years old kid, they go and play and sports, these kind of things, they suffer oxidative damage. But at that time, your antioxidant capacity is sufficient to neutralize that. And so, but nevertheless, if you do like that, I think the quality of life during aging will be dramatically improved, and you would not suffer any. And as you grow older, you require collagen. If you see in the skin, you're losing skin, that means you're also losing from your brain, from your heart, from your ear. And people have shown that people who have a hearing defect, hearing problem later on in older life, they have a reduced level of collagen, different types of collagen, but reduced level of collagen.
So, Lynn, there's a question. How do you take the collagen, 1 scoop, in how many ounces of water or juice?
Well, I mean, I take, this half a cup or less than 1/3 of a cup. And I just lukewarm it, 20-second microwave. And I ate 1 scoop, which is about 10 grams. And some people use twice. They claim that they feel better than one time. So I don't know. People have to experiment because this is non-toxic because collagen is every place. So there is no toxicity involved.
So I do it. I do it in my coffee in the morning, first thing in the morning. And I was just doing it once a day, but seeing how well things are helping me, I just started taking it a second time. And
That's a good idea.
I take it about dinner time.
Yeah.
And I get some caffeine-free chai tea, and I put it in the tea.
That's good.
Or if I have a bone broth, if I have homemade bone broth or homemade vegetable broth, I'll put it in there.
Sure.
But not in the store stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing a lot of people saying they put it in their hot tea, in their coffee. I mean, the collagen can go into anything cold or hot. You just have to know how to shake it really quick if you put it in something cold.
Yeah,
So,
only place we don't recommend collagen if you have a cancer.
right.
That's the only place. But otherwise, can use once, twice,
Right.
I'm myself considering doing the same thing that you are doing. Right now, I'm taking once a day. But I thought it's a good idea for my age. I'm much older than you. Maybe I will take it twice.
Yes. And we also love to take the products to be preventive. So, Dr. Prasad, there's so many people today that need it at a younger age just because of environmental stressors or deficiencies of food. So,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Lynn, thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, Chris Kestney.
Hello, Beth. I'm here.
Okay. Chris was having technical issues, so he is going to be talking from his phone. So go ahead, Chris.
Is the audio okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hello, Dr. Prasad and
Hi.
Jeff and the Engaged family. So nice to be with you on this evening.
Good.
First and foremost, thank you. First and foremost, I just want to say is that I grew up in a supplement household, and we had a Swanson's order coming in every other day. And so as a young kid, I was fed lots of different supplements, and many of them decent quality, knowing my mom and her research ability. But I've never heard the term, the phrase, the world's most medically validated supplements. And that's not something that you will ever hear again, or from any other group or body of research. And I can say after I went to integrative nutrition in New York City to become a holistic health coach in 2010, and I've sorted through a lot of the BS in the health and wellness world and the different trends. And Dr. Prasad, I'm just so grateful that you found the baseline for all of us. Even though everyone's individual, this is the common thread and the glue that holds our DNA and our health together.
Yep.
And I wanted to speak just for a moment on my personal experience of feeling better, doing better, sleeping better, treating myself better, and kind of the the psycho-emotional aspect, spiritual aspect of these supplements, and just kind of righting the ship, if you will. In my body and in my mind, I'm living as a much more open-hearted person. And at 42, I'm already a pretty healthy guy. And I also have a beautiful 1-year-old puppy who gets the collagen, and at times she also does get micro daily in the capsule. And she's the shiniest, yes, she's the shiniest, prettiest, softest puppy that anyone ever holds when they hold her, and they comment all the time. She does get a raw dog food and as well as coconut oil each day. And so in the Chinese zodiac, I'm also a dog. And so I'm loyal and compassionate at times to a fault. But because of our bond with our animals, you know, what is good for us is good for our animals. And when they feel good, we feel good, and it goes back and forth. So what a beautiful practice. And I'm so glad that Lynn brought that up. You know, I have a lot of health issues in my family, addiction, cancer, and lots of different things. And one thing as a holistic health coach that I like to share with people is that no one is doomed to disease. And we can get quite distracted by the medical industry's their affinity for genetic predisposition. And I think that we need to have more of a discussion on epigenetics, which, if anyone doesn't know what that term means, it just means genetic expression within one lifetime. And so I have just seen my health turn right around, and I've been on these supplements for almost a year. My father, who's 72 now, he, again, has a lot of difficult genetics from his family side, and he hasn't exactly taken care of himself. But within a month, my dad said, quote, he says, "I can't believe how good he feels." So anyway, on my business card, feel well. Every one of us here and a right to feel good. And when we feel good, we treat ourselves better and we treat each other better.
Yeah.
And it's society. It's good for society. And Dr. Prasad, I think of you daily. And
Yep.
and my involved in part of all of it with everybody.
Chris, we're having a hard time. You're breaking up.
Oh no. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I just wanted to say, I don't know what the last part you heard, but I'm just so delighted to be part of this group. I think of Dr. Prasad on the daily, and everyone here. I've been inspired. And it doesn't matter what your knowledgeable or experience with health. You know, we have a tool that can help us in our life, and we can share that with other people. And I hope everyone, you know, gets the health they deserve, because we all deserve to feel well and be well. And I can't thank you enough, Beth, for platform. And I look forward to seeing everybody in August, and see you all better each and every day.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
hope
Thank you.
you are,
Thank you,
I hope you
Chris.
are coming Orlando.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I will see you there. And 8/8, I think it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Much love to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Janine Dunlap.
Hey there.
Hey.
Hello.
How you
Hello,
doing?
Dr. Prasad and everyone. Dr. Prasad, I just want to say thank you for your work, but especially your heart and your compassion to help everyone. Micro Daily has really changed my health and my life. To give some background, I have been on a health journey to get back to health for about 28 years now. I started when we moved to Mississippi, and I started with insomnia. And doctors put me on medicine, and they put me on medicine. I had anxiety, depression. I've struggled with three traumatic brain injuries. The first one, it left me, I had to have reconstructive jaw surgery. The second time, I lost part of my eyesight. The third time, I had to have physical therapy, occupational, and speech therapy for a year and a half. I was pretty bad off. As well as that, I've struggled with thyroid issues. I've also had chronic illness with my sinuses and had to have 2 sinus surgeries. They wanted to do a third one, but I refused. That's when I got into holistic health. After that, I also struggled with fibromyalgia. And back in this past fall, I was outside working in my yard, and that was when we were getting all that crazy fog and everything. I live in Pennsylvania, and there was just a smell to it. And for that next week, I had a burning sensation that was in my tongue. And it just, the taste was there and everything. And soon after, I met Beth. And then I looked up the product and everything. And I also was with a friend, and she could tell my brain fog. I couldn't remember anything. So I started on a therapeutic dose, and it was within the 3-month period that I started to notice a difference. I started on the EMF, and the digestive boost, and then also the probiotic. And my memories start coming back. My energy has increased. Then I started on the CBD. And I also struggled my entire adult life having the SADS, seasonal affective. This was my first winter without any SADS symptoms. I'm on my lowest dosage with my doctor's help of antidepressants. I'm also on the omega-3, and I think that has really, taking it twice a day has really helped. The side effects of going down off of SSRIs can be very difficult, especially for as long as I was on them. And I've had near to none. So my doctor basically has said my depression is in remission, and I'm doing well. My energy level is up. I'm also taking the sleep boost, and I am able to wake up alert. I'm sleeping well. I was up before my husband today and out with the dogs, and just enjoying what I like to do best. Your products have really tremendously helped me. I've got 2 out of the 3 of my kids are on them. My husband's on them now. So we're just looking forward to the healing process that's going on. I am taking the heart boost. I do need to get more brain boost, but yeah, and the GLP-1 and the collagen, I've lost 10 pounds. Now I'm on that more for the hormonal, but I can tell that it is helping with my hormones as well. So thank you.
Yeah, that's very interesting story, I think. But one thing is that it is true for all diseases. Right now, all the treatment of disease based on the symptoms. They address the symptom of the disease, not the causes of the disease. And if they take care of the causes disease by natural product like you are doing, in combination, it will be a dramatic improvement without toxicity of the medication that you are taking.
Yes.
And so I think, that's why I'm writing all these things in recent years. trying to emphasize that I have nothing to saying bad thing about the treatment, but you also have to treat the causes of the disease, not only the symptoms of the disease, but what causes the symptoms. And if you take care of both, then you are ahead in the game, lifestyle. But right now it is impossible to, convince clinicians. But I keep writing about these things, which is true, which is all supported by the study that it is very important. All the causes of the disease all are defined in the literature. That these causes and this is the way to affect it, but nobody pays attention to.
I also have to say that my eye floaters are gone. I forgot
Yeah.
to say that. My eye floaters are gone. I've had skin issues that I had for a very long time. They're gone. I was not wanting to, my appetite was not very good. It didn't matter if I ate, you know, and I believe the enzymes have really helped that as well.
Yeah. And no, I think that's a very good one. Actually, my wife has a genetic of eye disease, and eye pressure was like a 20/21, and she got all the treatment, regular treatment, but it was not coming down more than like 18. Now, when we developed this eye boost, and I started taking eye boost, now her pressure dropped to 13 and 14. So same it is true for my son. My son has also mother's gene, and he has a eye pressure increased level of eye pressure that can cause glaucoma. And so he has started taking it, and he's very young, and now the pressure gone down. He's still 14, 15. So in many cases, the eye boost has been very, very supportive.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you. Thank you telling
Yes.
their stories. It's fascinating.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad you are feeling better, and I hope continue to feel better.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janine. I really appreciate your testimony, and I definitely can tell a big difference in you since the first day I met her. She really, she definitely had a lot of brain delay.
It did.
And
It was amazing. Thank
So
you, Beth.
What about, do you have any other from your family testimonies?
Oh, let's see. They haven't been on it very long, and I have to say my son is 19, and he's gone on the brain boost on his own. He bought it on his own, and he does take the micro daily. He takes the EMF, and I will say he takes it consistently. And for him to say that, and for him to share it with his friends, is huge. So I believe that it's helping him in ways that he's not telling his mom about yet.
That's okay.
And my daughter is sharing as well. So my husband is probably the last one to start it, but he's coming along, and I will be sure to share. I need to get more of a perspective from them, but I know that they have seen the change in me, and it has made them come along. So I'm sure there'll be more testimonies, Beth.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben, if you can unmute.
Did that work?
Yes.
Hey, how about that? It does work. Can you hear me, Beth?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Yep, that's the first I unmuted the phone on a Zoom call, so it's nice to know that *6 does the trick.
Yes. So we're ready for you.
Sounds good. Well, I'm going to say that it works. When I said that, that's the same thing I would say about all the Engaged Micro Daily products I'm taking. 64 years old. Just a lot of wear and tear starting in Body Shop at 12 years old. where you're always working on your knees and honkers, and it's just between that and roofing are just two tough traits for you because you're always kneeled down like that. And so my knees have been shot. The orthopedic surgeon said, Ben, the bad news is you should have got them done 20 years ago. The good news is the procedure's a little faster now. And I had saw an ad in the local paper, classified, for a sales position, and it would be Mike I spoke with, and I said, Mike, that all sounds good. I've taken a lot of supplements over the years, and I don't doubt that this is a really good supplement. But I'm a week and a half away from my surgery being scheduled for my left knee to be done first. And then from working outside and laying on the cold ground where, it's hard on your body when you're working outside like that. And I was working on vehicles laying on the ground. And then 3 hours later, you're taking your sweatshirt off because your T-shirt's sweating. Just the weather going up and down is hard on all of us. If you work outside, it's even worse. But I ended up getting, they called it acute sinusitis. And so they wanted to postpone my knee surgery. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to call my granny back and see if maybe I can get started on this product. And I'm nothing but happy that I did. It's a wonderful product. And I thank you, Dr. Prasad, and I thank you, David and Malcolm, for what you've put together here. Not only as a one-of-a-kind best supplement, but also making it affordable for somebody that, doesn't just want to take the product, but they want to introduce it to other people. And, that additional incomes helps pay for their own product and just makes it affordable for everybody. And I've taken a lot of collagen in the past, and I've taken a lot of supplements, but I'd usually try them for a couple months, and it just wasn't really doing a huge amount for me. So I just felt like I was spending money that I wasn't benefiting from. And the one thing I do still keep on hand is bee propolis because it's good for my allergies. And it's such a good product if you're not allergic to bee propolis. But I had taken lactoferrin for years. I have a hernia that's probably 35 years old. And if I lift too much, it still pushes in and out of my navel. And when that happens, I'll get to where it's hard for me I can still breathe, but I can't suck my gut in like most people can, meaning, to breathe deep and see your ribs. And so when I started taking the lactoferrin, a good quality lactoferrin, which is a prebiotic, I could do that within 2 hours of taking the first capsule. And since I've been taking the Core 4, I haven't bothered reordering, from the vendor I was getting from, which was BioQuad. Terrific product. But knowing that the probiotic daily is a prebiotic and a probiotic, I'm assuming that's why, my stomach, I never had stomach issues, but it was more due to the hernia and heavy lifting. And so the Core 4 is terrific. I'm going to say the first day I woke up and my knees felt better. The second day they felt even better. And after starting to work since I'm 12 and being 64 now, the last year and a half was a real struggle. And when I say a struggle, I've always been strong enough to, say, take a transmission out, sit it on my shoulder and walk across the parking lot and, put it in the garage or one of the sheds. And the last year and a half, it was hard to lift a 5-gallon can of fuel. And it wasn't because my muscles were getting weak. It's because my knees couldn't take the weight anymore. I'd take a few steps and I have to sit it right down. And so with the combination, I'm assuming that a lot of it is the collagen, that it stays in your body, from what I gather, and a combination of the microdaily and all the nutrients and all. And by the fourth Saturday, I started taking the product on Saturday, April 6th, I believe. And 4 weeks later, that Saturday, I walked to the mailbox, which is going down a little hill. And I'd always have to stop and turn sideways because it would hurt too much to go down feet forward. And I was walking back the driveway, flipping through the mail, and I'm thumbing through it, and I stopped and thought, wait a minute. I didn't have to stop and turn sideways to go down that hill. And I ended up turning around and going back and forth 3 times. I'm like, thank you. I was saying, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Thank you, David Amalka. And, you know, it made a difference. And then the same thing is with my knees being that bad, my left one even worse, and getting dirty outside or working. A lot of times I'll fill the tub up, take a good soak, wash all the dirt off, and then stand up in the shower to rinse off. The tub stays cleaner. You know, I stay cleaner that way, but the direction I was going in there was when you're sitting in the tub and you had your feet straight out in front of you, it was so painful to even do that because there's no cartilage in my knees at all. And I remember the orthopedic surgeon saying, you know, you need to get them both done. There's nothing there. And I said, you sure it's not just a torn meniscus? And he said, Ben, you have no meniscus. And I said, which leg? And he said, neither of them. And then he apologized for laughing. You know, he said, you know, and when I was putting my shoes back on, my work boots after the x-rays, I said, you're going to hear my knees crack. And he said, I could hear them both crack. By 4 weeks and 2 days, I could be in the tub with my legs outstretched and my knees didn't hurt. 2 days after that, I could reach down and retie one of my boots if it came undone walking across the parking lot or across the floor without my knees cracking. And they sounded like somebody putting their fist through drywall. That's how noisy they were. And I started noticing, I bought a boat. I was going to put a hose bib in outside, and I have everything there to do it. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to carry 2 5-gallon pails of water. And when I did that, I was probably on my 10th trip, and I realized I just carried, you know, at least 10 times at that point, 2 5-gallon pails, one in each hand. And I didn't sit it down between the house and the boat. And I'm like, you know what? You know, I don't know how it works, but, you know, they must be putting something between my joints again. And, you know, it's just easier to bend down and pick things up now. And I should say, out of my own joy for being able to lift again, I started overdoing it to where my knees started to hurt again. And it wasn't the product's fault. It was me, you know, sort of running out ahead of it. And I may still get the left one done. And I may have the doctor do x-rays and say, listen, you know, you tell me what you think. But whether I get the left one done or both of them done, you know, the right one, I don't feel any need to get it done now because I'm not having any pain with that. The left one was always the worst, but they wanted to do them both. And I guess I take the collagen, I take the Core 4, I take the collagen twice a day. And this month, well, and I did that for a month, and then I added the eye boost because I have 3 tears in my one retina. A strap broke and made 3 tears, and they called it a hypothema. So when you're saying about eye pressure, I ordered the eye boost. The tears have long since mended, but I'm supposed to get my eye checked for pressure once a year or twice a year. And I have it, you know, and I thought, let me start taking this eye boost. And my eyes feel more fluid, for lack of it, you know, more, they're not dry. They just, you know, I don't use eye drops. I never bother with them, but they just, it hasn't made with the 3 tears in my retina, the pupil stays dilated on the right side because it's damaged. And so bright light, you know, bright headlights at night's hard. I still have that issue, but my eyes just feel better lubricated is the word I was looking for. And so, I mean, I can't say anything but good about everything. I've been on heart meds for maybe 7 years. And I'm hoping through the micro daily and the, you know, the omega-3 and the probiotics and the collagen that I would be nothing but thrilled to have the doctor say, you know, Ben, what are you doing? You know, we're going to cut this med back or that med back. And to me, it sort of seems as an observation. I'm not a doctor, but I'm pretty mechanical and a lot of things translate. But you see so many people that started with heart meds, and it's just like they all end up having diabetic issues. And they told me for the longest time, Ben, you're borderline, but you must really be watching what you eat because you're not diabetic yet. And then they told me that I was. And, you know, I was sort of mad at them. I didn't really believe them, you know, because I was conscious of what I was eating and drinking and, you know, sugar content and carbohydrates and all. And so they had put me on metformin and then doubled the metformin. Now, the last I had my AL1C checked, and I should know these numbers better, but I know I went from a 10-4, the one doctor's visit, to a 8-6 down to, I believe, a 7-8 the last visit. So I think it's a combination of the metformin and now a combination of the core 4 helping, you know, your body assimilate the sugar better, or, you know, that it's not as much of an issue. And I guess I'm looking for any advice, you know, or recommendation this month. I mean, I started the GLP-1 a month ago, and it's on the order again for this month. And it's funny, I've always loved to eat. I've been a good cook all my life, even as a kid. You know, God, with 7 brothers and sisters, you thought you're starving because as soon as Mom would pull out of the driveway, pots and pans were flying. And so a lot of times dinner's late at night or later at night, which isn't obviously healthy. But I noticed after taking the GLP-1 for a few days, it didn't matter how good that meal was, and it might have been something you'd have normally went back and had a second or third helping because it was that good. You're just not hungry enough to force yourself to eat a second plate, no matter how good it is. And so that's been a month. I probably dropped a couple pounds. And, you know, so I'll continue taking that. This month, I'm ordering 2 of the Heart Boosts just to see if it helps, if I can start weaning myself off the blood pressure medication. And I got a bottle of the Digestive Boost, and I've never had stomach issues. But when I was reading that it's good for breaking down carbohydrates and sugar, that's why I got it. But I'm thinking maybe I don't really need that one, you know, because it seems too, it's a lot of times people take it because food doesn't agree with them. And, you know, I have it, for lack of a better expression, a cast iron stomach. And so, you know, I have a bottle and I thought I'll keep it around, you know, if my fiance needs it, or if it's something that I know I'm not sure if it's going to agree with me. But everything I'm taking, you know, does what it's supposed to and then some. And, you know, I didn't know, knowing a little bit about my knee pain and all, and a little bit of heart history, a little bit of diabetic history, if it's better for me to, you know, I take the micro daily and the foil patch, the EMF, twice a day. I take the collagen twice a day, and I take everything else twice a day as you're supposed to, with the exception of the probiotic once a day. This month I was going to add the original green bottle micro daily just for a little extra dose to see if that made any difference. And, you know, so I'm sort of looking for what a good recommendation would be as to what would
Yeah, okay, so
benefit me the most.
okay. All right, if Dr. Prasad, if you want to comment on his, I've got to get these other testimonies then, Ben. Thank you so much for
I'm long with it. There's no doubt about that.
okay. Dr. Prasad, did you want to comment?
No, I think what he is doing is correct one. But only thing is that, I presume he is over 50. And what happens,
I'm 64.
54. In older people, what
64.
happens as you grow older, your capacity, your intestine or pancreas capacity to produce digestive enzyme reduces. And so to compensate it, it is a good idea to have a collagen, the digestive boost. But it's up to you,
So you think I would still see a benefit to continuing on the digestive boost?
Yeah, no, digestive food would be is harmless. It is just the enzyme that breaks down protein, carbohydrate. It is not harmful in any way. It will not interfere with anything you are taking it, and so that's the only suggestion. Rest of the thing you are doing okay. You are taking
Yeah, then I'll continue with that then. That's what I was
yeah,
looking for,
yeah, and
Can't get a
so
better profile than yourself there.
you are doing very well considering what you had experienced before. So I would say continue to do that. And let Beth know
And
how
doubling
you're,
up,
yeah,
doubling up on the heart boost can't hurt, right?
no.
Mm-mm.
Nope, I am looking forward to seeing,
I mean, if you are going to take
you know,
extra boost, I think, you might as well, if you suppose if you are taking a 3 capsule a day, instead of going back to the original micro daily, you may like to increase instead of 3 to 4 capsule a morning and 4 in the evening. But until you want to have some break in terms of pricing, some people do that, just a pricing reason, go back to one, there we recommend 2 capsules morning and 2 in the evening. So if you want to do that, it's up to you. There is no risk factor involved. So it is all the experiment, really. There is no human data like yourself in a clinical study. So it has to go what your body needs it. And again, all these nutritional products that we have has no toxicity. The worst scenario would be that it has no effect. But in our experience, it is all. Nobody has said I didn't have any good results.
All right. Thank you for that, Dr. Prasad. We've got one more testimony, and that is Lydia Ann King.
Sure.
Mute yourself.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay. My testimony is regarding the children's gummies. Our youngest son is 4 years old, and we have struggled with his sleep schedule since birth. It seemed he just couldn't get a good night's sleep. He'd sleep okay, but always, waking up for feedings at night. And as he got older, it improved, but he still woke up early every morning. And saying 5:30, 6 o'clock early. The rest of the house was still asleep, but he was up and wouldn't be put back down. And he was not happy awake. He was grouchy. I learned that it helps if I feed him right away. But I just got used to having him awake early, so it took all my morning time away. I used to journal a lot in the morning when the kids were sleeping, but he was awake. So this was just normal since he was born, and he's 4 years old now. My mom gifted me a bottle of the gummies, the Engage gummies, and we started not faithfully taking them. I guess it was January where we first started with the gummies, and we kept kind of off and on. We'd take them for a while, and we weren't real faithful. I didn't see any difference at first, but after a while, I decided to go all in and commit to, taking them regularly, giving them to him. It's 4 a day, right? I think that's right. 2 in the morning. Yeah, that's what we do. 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening. And soon he started sleeping longer in the morning. I still remember the day, it wasn't that long ago, that he slept until 7 o'clock in the morning. And the whole, like me and the other children, we were all amazed. We're like, Jackson's still sleeping at 7 o'clock. Well, good news. He has been sleeping later, even as late as 8 and 8:30 in the morning, which is fantastic. I'm getting my mornings back. I'm just so grateful because he seems to be waking up in a better mood. I think his nervous system was really, really fragile. And it still is. We're still working on that. Hopefully we'll keep seeing improvements with that. But he was always, quick to cry, and but it's been improving since he's taking the gummies faithfully. And I thought, well, he's 4. Maybe it's because he's growing out of his stage. But then we got sloppy with the gummies for about 2 weeks. I kind of forgot to give it to him, and we didn't have a good schedule. And he started waking up early again. So I really do think the gummies are working. They seem to be regulating his nervous system, just, I guess, giving him the nutrients he needs. So his body is able to rest at night and get a good night's sleep. So yeah, I think that's all I have to share.
Yeah, it's good. That was great. Yeah, many children who have like that symptoms. If you don't treat earlier, they get worse and they develop all kind of complications, neurologically speaking. But I'm glad that you intervened earlier, and now he will do very well. As you grow older, then you start giving some more things, but
He
right now
he
this is enough
we
right now.
also give him, or he likes the omega-3. He'll just
Yeah.
pop them. He'll pop them in his mouth and eat them.
Yeah, omega-3 again is very harmless, and especially for brain.
Mhm.
The brain, 40% of fatty acid in the brain is called is omega, DHA part of the omega. And the membrane is very sensitive to damage. And so if you don't have a sufficient amount of that, the membrane gets damaged, you have less omega-3, and that will interfere with the memory. And so I'm glad that you're doing it, because that is, again, it is non-toxic, it is physiologically sufficient, no toxicity involved.
Good.
Thank you so much. We always love to hear about the children. We don't have enough children testimonies, so I was anxious to get yours with your son. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, this concludes the call tonight. And Dr. Prasad, thank you for always showing up, and thank you for commenting and giving some advice tonight. We really appreciate it. So,
Okay.
until next time, we will close the call unless, it's getting too late now for questions. So we're just going to close the call, and I will have the video posted on TeamServe YouTube by tomorrow, maybe tonight. All right.
Okay.
Night, everybody.
Night. Good night, everybody. Good job.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night, Dr. Prasad.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
Night,
Thank
Beth.
you, Dr. Prasad. Thank you, Beth.
Thank
Good
you.
call. Good night.
Thank you, Beth.
Good night.
Thank you, Dr.
All right, Jill.
Prasad.
Testimonies, everybody.
Thank you,
All right,
Jeff.
Jill. You have a good one. You and your wife.
Bye.